vciso-au Cyberwatch, July 14, 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief. Powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati. No ANZ ransomware victims found. Fortinet releases patch for critical SQL injection flaw in FortiWeb. CVE 2025-25257. Fortinet has issued a patch for a high-severity SQL injection flaw affecting FortiWeb. The vulnerability, tracked as CVE 2025-25257, is rated 9.6 out of 10 on the CVSS scale. An unauthenticated attacker could exploit the flaw to execute arbitrary SQL commands. It stems from improper neutralization of special characters in SQL commands, CWE 89. Exploitation is possible via specially crafted HTTP or HTTPS requests sent to the server. The flaw affects multiple versions: FortiWeb 7.0.0 to 7.0.10, 7.2.0 to 7.2.10, 7.4.0 to 7.4.7, and 7.6.0 to 7.6.3. Administrators are urged to upgrade to FortiWeb 7.0, 11, 7.2.11, 7.4.8, or 7.6.4 and above. The issue lies in the get fabric docs user by token function within the Fabric connector. This component facilitates communication between FortiWeb and other Fortinet products. The vulnerable function is indirectly triggered by API endpoints handling user sessions. Security researcher Kentaro Kawane from GMO Cybersecurity responsibly disclosed the issue. The flaw underscores the importance of sanitizing user inputs across all access points. vciso-au recommendation: immediately upgrade to the secure FortiWeb versions and disable unused API endpoints. Implement strict input validation and use Web Application Firewalls, WAF, to block SQL injection attempts. Over 600 Laravel apps exposed to remote code execution via leaked APP keys. Cybersecurity researchers have warned about over 600 Laravel apps vulnerable to RCE. The issue arises from publicly leaked Laravel APP keys, often exposed on GitHub. Laravel's APP key is a critical encryption key stored in the .env configuration file. With access to this key, attackers can exploit Laravel's decrypt function. This function automatically deserializes decrypted data, enabling code execution. GitGuardian and SignActive retrieved over 260,000 APP keys from GitHub repositories. At least 400 keys were confirmed functional, affecting live Laravel applications. The vulnerability stems from insecure session handling using session driver cookie. Even updated Laravel versions remain at risk under this insecure configuration. This builds on earlier issues documented in CVE 2018-15133 and CVE 2024-55556. Malware such as Androx GH0ST has been seen exploiting Laravel installations. Failure to secure Laravel keys and sessions exposes both user data and server access. vciso-au. Recommendation: rotate any exposed APP keys, audit .env file permissions, and avoid using cookie-based session drivers. Apply Laravel security patches and monitor GitHub for accidental key exposures using tools like GitGuardian. Critical Wing FTP server vulnerability, CVE 2025-47812, actively exploited. A critical flaw in Wing FTP server, tracked as CVE 2025-47812, is under active exploitation. This vulnerability has a CVSS score of 10.0 and enables full remote code execution. The flaw involves improper handling of null ARN0 bytes in the web interface. Attackers can exploit the issue by injecting Lua code into user session files. This arbitrary code is then executed with root or system-level privileges. The vulnerability affects both the user and admin interfaces of the server. Exploitation can be achieved even via anonymous FTP accounts, increasing risk. Security firm Huntress confirmed real-world exploitation and malicious downloads. Threat actors are using it to conduct reconnaissance and install remote tools. The issue is related to mishandling login inputs in the loginoc HTML file. The vulnerability is patched in Wing FTP Server version 7.4.4. Admins running older versions are advised to upgrade immediately. vciso-au recommendation: patch all Wing FTP instances to version 7.4.4 and disable anonymous FTP if not essential. Review session file permissions and implement file integrity monitoring to detect tampering. 123456. Password exposed. 64 million McDonald's. Job chatbot applications. Researchers discovered a critical flaw in McDonald's McHire chatbot platform. The flaw exposed sensitive data from over 64 million job applications across the U.S. Admin access was protected by the username 123456 and password 123456. McHire, used by 90% of McDonald's franchises, is powered by Paradox.ai. The platform collects applicants' personal info and personality assessments. Researchers tested the system by submitting an application to a test franchise. They found HTTP requests sent to the endpoint, API, lead.cmxhr with a lead.id value. By incrementing or decrementing this lead.id, they accessed applicant chat transcripts. This included names, contact info, session tokens, and other private data. The vulnerability exposes applicants to identity theft and unauthorized access. McDonald's and Paradox.ai have not yet commented on whether credentials were changed. The exposure underscores poor credential management and lack of access control. vciso-au recommendation: enforce strong admin credential policies and implement MFA across chatbot admin panels. Use rate-limiting, secure APIs, and access logging to detect enumeration attacks on user data. Ransomware exposure list: last 24 hours, United States. North Country Healthcare, Pinnacle Roofing and Exteriors, construction. K12albemarle.org, education. EIA Global, financial services. Cyberlink ASPI, technology. Formwood Industries, manufacturing. Wegley Higginbotham and Associates, business, CPA. Genesis Billing Services, business services. Fishman, Larson and Callister, law firm. Katz and Durakian law firm, PL, law firm. Darian Telephone, telecommunication, Romania. Nod Bontreau, technology, France. Ensemble Monplaisir, education, not specified, Brazil. LCM Construção e Comércio, SEA, construction, Barbados. Nexa.bb, professional business services. Unknown, not found country. Companies listed without a specific country tag. Dansoft, technology, ERP, defense. Soldr.com, technology, not specified. Final note from vciso.au. Australia and New Zealand remain relatively untouched this week, but the global threat landscape continues to shift. Critical infrastructure, software supply chains, and endpoint security are under siege. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati.